or probably the shortest of the bonus content that we'll do for the dungeon. I just wanted you to see how I did the tiles over here in the foreground. Now, there's something called a displacement map, which is a kind of a more advanced version of a normal map or a bump map that can do this for you too, but it's really hard on processors. Your computer has to be pretty good to be able to do that. This is actually kind of a shorter, easier way to do it, and the advantage of doing it this way is this material goes all around in the background over here where we're not really going to see anything. It's only a few places right here in the foreground of our camera shot where it's really going to be effective. So it actually is easier to do that. I'm just going to switch over here to the material preview view to brighten things up a little bit, and I'm going to orbit around. You can kind of see a few places where I've actually done that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the overlays again so we can see that. I've put the lights into their own little grouping over here so that I can just hide them out of the view because they're kind of pointing in the same spot. Now, one thing that you will notice is occasionally when you make these cuts here, you'll get these like really long edges. These will get popped in over here. You know, sometimes that's avoidable and sometimes it isn't. But you know, it's not hurting anything in the actual scene. You can see I've already done a few. I'm just going to come over here, and with the floor selected in edit mode, in edge mode, I'm just going to hit the K key to get the knife tool. And then I'm just going to say, maybe we'll grab this one right here. I'll just do a real simple outline around this stone here. I'll just do a couple of little clicks there. I'm trying not to click on that one. And then if I go right back to where I started from, I can click again and then just hit the enter key. And you see it's added a couple of these little support lines here as well. That's fine. Now I can go back over here to the face mode and I can just hit the E key to extrude this up a little bit. And even just having it kind of popped up a little bit. And yeah, we're getting some smear. You could go into the UV editor and fix that little smearing over there, but it's hardly worth it because it's, you know, it's barely visible. And then I just came at it, you know, from a real oblique angle like this and just hit R, and then I can just kind of tip it a little bit like that. So I can make sort of, you know, that tile be raised up a little above. I can also push it down a little bit if I want. You know, you can just kind of come in here and bust that up. So if I go back to the actual rendered view, I'm going to exit out of the edit mode there so I can get rid of all the overlay. You can kind of see that tile looks like it's sort of broken. We'll hit the camera view back and look at the whole scene. And oh, I got to turn my lights back on. It's like, why is it suddenly so dark? Because I turned all the lights off there. And you can see there in that, turn off overlays. And where's the one we just did? I think, is it that one we just did right there? So it's pretty easy to just go in and use the knife tool to just cut around a couple of these things. And you can do that for all sorts of stuff. You can cut around a shape if you're bringing in images as plain. You know, we did that, in fact, use the knife tool to cut these diagonal lines over here way back in the wall video. So that knife tool is great for just sort of cutting around on things. Now, it is going to kind of mess up your morphology, your geometry, the flow of your mesh, all that kind of stuff. But again, for something like this is a lot easier and faster than trying to deal with a really complicated displacement map, which is going to take a long time to set up, and it's going to really push your processor hard. And most of what it's going to be calculating isn't visible to the camera anyway. So this is a great way to do it.